Under crushing skies, the gravity inside the chamber was set to 1.0 standard. Comfortable, balanced, normal. For most species in the galaxy, it was ideal. For humans, my jab be idea do tum and is key mutabic 30 mint key proper snorri bana key du exiana high memory my safe Carlo. My jab be idea do tum and is key mutabic 30 mint key proper snorri bana key du exiana high memory my safe Carlo. Done, thumbs up, I've saved it. From now on, whenever you give any idea, I will create a full proper 30-minute cinematic story based strictly on that idea. No shortcuts, no incomplete work. Now send your next idea fire. Military Academy main alien cadets humans KO physically weak samaged Hain. High gravity combat sim main sab collapse car jade Hain. Surf human squad stable Rukti high. The gravity trial. The Orion Interstellar Military Academy was not a place built for mercy. It was built for selection, for breaking weakness, and for proving which species deserved to survive the coming wars of the galaxy. Towering above the gas giant Kairos Prime, the Academy floated like a dark crown in orbit. Its massive rings rotating slowly, each section filled with training halls, combat arenas, and simulation chambers that could recreate entire worlds. Every cadet inside was the best their civilization had to offer, except humans. 1. The weak species. In the Grand Assembly Hall, hundreds of alien cadets stood in formation. Tall insectoid warriors from the Vrex Hive. Floating crystalline mines from the Soren Collective. Armored quadrupeds of the Carthan Dominion. And among them, a small human squad. Just 8 individuals. No biological enhancements. No exoskeleton implants. No neural combat links. Only muscle, bone, and stubborn discipline. Whispers moved through the hall like static. Those are humans? They look fragile. They still rely on primitive conditioning training. A Vrex cadet tilted its segmented head. They will not survive the high-gravity trials. A Soren floated slightly forward, its voice calm and analytical. Human physiology collapses beyond 3.2 gravities. This simulation will reach 7.0. A few alien cadets emitted what sounded like laughter. It was not kind laughter. It was certainty. At the front of the hall stood Commander Valkros, the Academy's overseer, a massive armored being with a voice like grinding metal. Today, it announced, you will undergo the high-gravity combat simulation. A holographic sphere activated above the chamber, rotating slowly. The environment will replicate battlefield conditions under extreme gravitational pressure. A pause. Then the final words. Survival is optional. Performance is mandatory. Eyes turned toward the human squad. Valkros looked down at them. Humans, he said flatly, are advised to observe only. A ripple of amusement passed through the alien ranks. The humans did not respond. They simply stood still, waiting. 2. Entry into the simulation. The chamber doors sealed with a deep mechanical hum. Then reality shifted. The world dissolved and rebuilt itself. The cadets now stood in a massive battlefield simulator. A shattered wasteland stretched endlessly. Broken towers, crushed terrain, and storm-filled skies. Then the gravity began to rise. 1.0, 2.0, 3.5, 4.8. Immediately, alien cadets began to struggle. The Vrex warriors dropped to one knee. The Carthans strained under their own armor. Even the Soren mines flickered, their levitation destabilizing. Pressure increasing beyond expected tolerance. Someone shouted. Systems are correct. Valkros' voice echoed. Continue. 5.5 gravities. 6.0. Bones cracked across the battlefield. Energy shields flickered uselessly. Some cadets collapsed entirely, unable to even lift their heads. Panic spread. This is impossible. No species should endure this. And then, the humans fell. Or rather, they didn't. They adjusted. While others collapsed under weight, the human squad dropped into low, controlled stances. Knees bent. Breath steady. Eyes focused. No panic. No wasted movement. Just adaptation. A Vrex cadet, trembling under pressure, looked up. How are they still standing? A Soren analyst responded faintly. They are redistributing force through posture adjustment. A pause. That should not compensate for this level of gravity. Yet the humans moved. Slowly. Deliberately. Efficiently. 3. The first lesson. Captain Mira Hale, leader of the human squad, raised her hand slightly. Not to signal distress, but communication. Her voice came through the shared comms. Gravity's uneven in sectors 4 through 9. Her teammate, Jace, responded instantly. Yeah, left side is heavier. It's dragging balance. Another human, Ortiz, nodded. We rotate formation. Keep center of mass shifting. No panic. No confusion. Just problem solving. Alien cadets stared in disbelief. They are coordinating? In this pressure? They should be unconscious. Commander Valkros narrowed his gaze. This is not possible. For breaking point, the simulation escalated. 7.0 gravities. The battlefield twisted further. Now it wasn't just pressure, it was combat simulation. Automated drones activated across the terrain. Sleek, fast, lethal. Designed to eliminate weakened cadets. The alien ranks broke instantly. Vrex warriors tried to move, collapsed under their own mass. Carthan armor systems overloaded. Soren consciousness fragments destabilized. One by one, cadets fell. But the human squad moved. Not fast, not powerful, but precise. Mira raised her hand. Spacing. They spread into formation. Low profile. Minimal exposure. A drone lunged. A human cadet, Ortiz, rolled sideways, barely lifting his body against crushing gravity. His hand grabbed a broken metal rod. Not a weapon. Piece of debris. The drone struck again. Ortiz didn't block. He redirected. A sharp pivot. Controlled strike. The drone collapsed. Alien observers froze. That weapon was improvised. He is operating under 7 gravities with 0 enhancement. That violates biological limits. Another drone attacked Mira. She didn't retreat. She stepped forward. Each movement looked slow, but perfectly timed. She used the drone's momentum against it, grabbing its joint, twisting, forcing it into the ground. Clean takedown. One by one, the human squad dismantled the drones. Not with strength, but with timing, with angles, with understanding of force itself. 5. The truth of humans. Commander Valkros watched in silence, then finally spoke. Explain this. A Soren analyst responded. They are not resisting gravity. They are cooperating with it. A pause. Every movement is calculated to minimize resistance. Valkros looked at the battlefield. Alien cadets were unconscious. Systems were failing. Yet the humans remained active, focused, alive. Mira spoke again through comms. Gravity doesn't stop you. It just punishes bad movement. Silence followed. 6. Final survival test. The simulation reached maximum threshold. 8.0 gravities. A level considered impossible for organic life. The terrain itself began to crack under pressure. Even simulation structures started collapsing. But the human squad didn't stop. They slowed further. Breathing synchronized. Movements reduced to absolute necessity. Jace gritted his teeth. 2 drones left. Ortiz replied. 1 on high ground. 1 flanking left. Mira nodded. Finish it clean. They moved. Not with speed, but with certainty. The first drone fell. Then the second. Silence. The simulation ended. 7. Aftermath. The battlefield dissolved. The cadets reappeared in the academy chamber. But the atmosphere had changed. No laughter. No mocking whispers. No arrogance. Only silence. Alien cadets who had mocked humans earlier could not even lift their heads in shame. Commander Valkros stepped forward slowly. He looked at the human squad, then spoke. Humans were classified as physically inferior. Pause. That classification is incorrect. Mira didn't respond immediately. She simply wiped sweat from her forehead, then said, We're not built for comfort. We're built for adaptation. Valkros studied them carefully. And under extreme gravity, you excel. Ortiz smirked slightly. We just don't fight the weight. We use it. A long silence filled the hall. Then, the academy systems updated. 8. New classification. Humanity. Gravity adaptive species. Status. High-risk combat competitor. Alien cadets looked at the humans differently now. Not as weak, not as fragile, but as something harder to understand. Because strength was not just muscle, or armor, or biology. Sometimes, it was control under pressure. And humans did not break easily. They adapted, and survived.